We
28.
have a bracha from the Kohen for a good day.
Oh, well, everyone should have a good day.
Thank you.
Amen.
Right.
28th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemara.
Oh, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 lines from the bottom of the narrow lines of Rashi. It's the last word in the line, dilo. Okay, so Phil, would you like to read this Rashi?
We'll start again because we did read some before.
Yeah. Let's start from the beginning of the Divra Maskil Delo Keben Nanas. 13 narrow lines up from where the narrow lines finish in Rashi.
Okay. Here, okay. It's Shalom Ben Nanas. And we have this thing that's learned in the Sechet Shvuot. Daf Mem Hayam Aleph. Gabe Chanvani Al Pingatso, someone who's watching his, a money changer type of a person has on, somebody, somebody involving the money. I call it a money changer. I'm not sure that's an exact translation on his book. Elu ve'elu, both of these, this and this, bowing based in. People come to based in. Almanas Shava, on condition that he will swear echad mehem. One's going to swear l'shav. So one is going to be, one of them they both can't be correct. So one of them has to make a false or a vain oath because they can't both be right. So they're going to swear, and one of them is going to have to be a phony, an oath that we know will be false because you can't have two people right. Amar Balabayit Lachani, and the owner of the object, the Balabayit, says to Lachavani, Tain lebnei, give to my son chitin b'dinar. He'd give him some wheat for a dinar. V'alai l'shalem, and I'll pay for my son. Or lipolin, or give to my workers a seller, ma'ot, the seller, 100 money seller, sha'ani chayev b'schachtem, and I will be chayev to pay their wages. V'alai litain seller, and I will give the seller who? I will give the seller. I think that's where we stopped, and as we ran out of time. Now it says, who
Yeah,
Amar?
he's asking, in both cases, he's asking the Chenvani to lay out the chitim, in the first case with the son. In the second case, he's asking the Chenvani to lay out the seller to the Polim, and then the Baal Bayis says in both cases, Alai l'shalem, I'm gonna give you back the value of the chitim, and I'm gonna give you the seller that you laid out. Okay. So we see that this money is not just a money changer. He does other things as well.
Okay. Now, what else was I going to? So I was going to say, okay. Okay. So we have that, and now what else was I going to say? Okay, I'm trying to finish. Okay. So who Omar? He says, here's what I'm trying to go.
Who Omar Natati?
I've given it.
Yeah.
Who Omar? Lo natal, no natalti. No, you didn't take it. Ushneim,
Yeah.
and Shneim, and both of them, Tovim, that both of them make a claim. And a Balabayit, the guy, the original guy. Shneim Nishpaim, they both swear, the Notlim, and they both take it, may Balabayit. Then they would have to both make Balabayit. Sounds like the Balabayit has to pay twice to the two people here. And so he's really got a loss here because he only had one of these things, and now both of these guys he's paying back. Omar Benanas, Rabbanan says, Yetzad Elu, what's the
Ketzad elu boin lidei shvuas shav.
So Ketzad, how is it that Elu the Elu, Ba'im L'dei Shvua, how can both take a Shvua? Shav, somebody is Shvav. How can they take this false Shvua? Elishnein Notlim below Shvua. Therefore, so Benanas is saying we can't make them take the Shvua because we don't. Benanas doesn't want to get into the situation where one of them will definitely have to be taking a false Shvua. So therefore, they take it, and we're not going to make a shvua. They don't do a shvua.
Yeah, but you know what this means? Benanas says, "Oh, chas v'sholem, that one of them should make an oath in vain." So what's the solution? So neither one of them are going to have to make an oath, and both of them are going to take. The balabais have to pay both of them. Now, one of them is definitely not entitled to being paid. So the Bezdin, according to Benanas, the Bezdin can't authorize somebody to make an oath in vain, but they can authorize them to steal from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Anyway, so what Rashi's done over here is to explain us what the opinion of Benanas is. He's worried about the two parties making a shvua, and because we know that one of them is going to be a shvua shav. So the Bezdin can't be a party to that. So therefore, our Gemara is asking, what is Benanas going to say about our Mishnah? Isn't our Mishnah the same thing? We're both of these people are going to take the disputed item if they swear. So that's the Gemara's question. Lema masnisin delo Benanas. It must be that the Tana of our Mishnah disagrees with Benanas. Okay. And now we go to the Gemara's answer. So we go to the Gemara. It says, Afilu Tema. Where is that?
2B2, left-hand column, second paragraph.
Okay. Lou, you want to read?
Afilu Tema Benanas. You can even say that the Mishnah is consistent with the ruling of Benanas. Hasam Vadai Ika Shavu As Shav. There is definitely a false oath. Hacha Ika the Memar, the Leka Shavua Shav. Here, it is possible that there is no false oath. A more Sar Vaihu Behade Hadade Agbehu. Agbehuha. It is possible that both picked it up simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so our question would be, it sounds like the Gemara is just answering the first case of the case of Metzia, of the finding of the item and claiming to make an acquisition on it. But how is that? How can that be? How does that answer the case of Mekom Memcher? I do not know.
But they have both the same money?
Well, the case, the way that we explained it, oh, you mean to say, they both gave money, and I don't know. Let's see what Rashi says over here. But that's something to think about while reading the Rashi. How is this? How two cases to answer? We have case of Metzia and Mekach Memkar. Okay, so Emor Bahadi Adode Agvua. We go back to back to yeah, okay. Back to Phil. We'll get you soon, Roy.
Emor Hadadi will say that this one and this one, that's what they are. That this one, they picked it up, Agbo, they picked it up. This one and this one picked it up. That's what we'll say, that they both picked it up. Lemitzia, for a find. L'kol echad, and each one of them, Sava holds, Ani, Bagbati, I picked it up first. So each one of them picked it up, and each one's claiming I got it. I beat the other guy out. V'kulo shlei, and it's all mine. The key mishtave al chetzi, they will make a sweat. What they're making an oath on is al chetzi. It's really on half. Kushta. It's a question. Mishtabe, that they swear. Inyan mekach and mecha, but in terms of buying and selling, Nami also shema perhaps lishneim, to both of them. Nitrat said they both want it. They both wanted it.
Well, they both wanted it, but is the fact that they both wanted it, would that be a reason to say they both acquired it?
Well, they both claim they bought it, so there's a question there. Remember, they still don't have both claimed that.
Now the issue here is, to whom was the seller nisratza to? Who did the seller want to sell it to? So over here, Rashi's saying le'inyan mekach memkar nami. We could also say in the case of mekach memkar, shema l'shneihem nisratze. Maybe he, the mocher, the seller, was nitzratze. He was amenable and agreeable to both of them, meaning he was agreeable to sell it to both of them. Whatever that means. Yeah. But I think one thing that you'd see over here, though, is that according to Rashi is saying, granted, that the Mishnah, when it says, in trying to explain how it could be that both of them are not that neither one of them is really making a shvuah shav. In our case, it could be, and the Gemara says that because both of them picked it up, that language is really directed only at the case of the case of Metzia. and we're left. Rashi is left, and we're also left because we're in the same boat as Rashi. To say, oh, well, according to that, we could say the same general idea when it comes to Mekach Memkar as well. It's not a matter of that they both picked it up at the same time, because we're not talking about a case of finding something. We're talking about a seller selling it to two different people. So Rashi says, yeah, we could use that idea, what the Gemara says, and say, yeah, the mocher, he was nisratze l'shneim. He was amenable and agreeable to sell it to both of them. They both want to buy it. I'll sell it to both of them. And so that's why it could be that both of them are entitled to the cloak. Just like it could be that both of them are entitled to the talus if they both picked it up, meaning they both picked it up at the same time. So in that case, they're not really swearing a false or oath in vain. They're swearing truthfully that I don't owe any less than my half portion of this talus. I don't own any less than my half portion of this cloak. And so, like that, the Gemara is saying that could accord with Ben Nanas, because Ben Nanas is talking about a case where one of these people, the son or the Chenvani, they know that they're not right. They know that they're not owed anything by the Balabais. And yet, and so in that case, Ben Nanas is saying that we don't want them to make a shvu under such circumstances. Okay. Okay, good. And now let's go weiter with the Gemara. Lemas masnisin de lo kesumchas. And we go to Roy to continue the reading, please.
Limor masni sin de lo besimchas. Shall we say that the ruling of our Mishnah is not in accordance with the view of Simchas? Dai Besimchas ha'amar mimon hamutal besopek halakin below Shavua. The word in accordance with the view of Sumchos. Why? He says that money whose ownership is in doubt is divided by litigants without an oath. And the Scroll adds, this seems to conflict with our Mishnah, which stipulates that each litigant must swear before the money in doubt, that is, the cloak, is divided. Do I continue, or do you want to do on that? The continuation is the counter argument.
Well, one second. Let's try to understand what we're saying over here. Why is the Mishnah not like Sumchus? The Sumchus says, "Momen amuto b'safek holkin below shvua." Mammon that is in a state of being in safek, who it's owned by, he divides it without a shvua. So these are cases. Both the cases of our Mishnah are cases where the Gemara understands its property, mammon, that is a mutal b'safek. It's in a state of doubt. Who is the proper owner of this cloak? Who's the proper owner of this talus? And so in that case, Sumcha says we don't make any shvuas. And our Mishnah says you do make shvuas. So therefore, the Gemara concludes that we should say that the Mishnah does not accord with sumchus. Okay. Do we have any Rashi on that? Kesumchus. Lou, you want to read the Rashi?
Simchus. Let's see. Kasimchus. Baba Kama Gabe Shor She Negach Es Hapara Venimta Avod Ovre Bitzada. So in Baba Kama, talking about a shore, an ox, what is this? Shenegach.
The gores.
Nogach. Negicha, he gored.
Nogach. A goring ox. He gores a cow, and they find him in the
Ubra, the fetus. They find the fetus.
Oh, a fetus in the gored cow.
Betsida. By the side of the para.
Oh, and they don't know what happened.
So this is a case of Maman Amutu Basafik over there in the Gemara in Bava Kama that Sumcha says Cholkin without a shvua.
You divide the fetus.
Not sure exactly what the suffix is, but that's the Rashi says that's the case.
I think I studied this. The suffix is we don't know whether the fetus miscarried because of the goring or not.
Oh, right. Okay. Very good. In other words, was it the goring that caused the death of the fetus or not? Maybe the mother miscarried before being gored.
Right.
Bit of a crazy possibility, if you ask me. But I guess it's theoretically it's possible.
Does seem far less likely.
Doesn't sound like much of a suffix, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so okay, so like that. Okay, good. So now what's the Gemara do now? The Ella, my Rabbanan. And whose turn is it to read right now? Back to Roy. Or Roy just read? Who just read?
All right. So where am I reading? So is it my Rabbanon? Is that it?
Yeah.
But what then? Does the Mishnah rather follow the view of the rabbis that dispute Sumchus? Ha Amarei Hamotzia Machabei Ra Olav Hara Ya. But the rabbis say that the burden of proof rests on the one who seeks to exact payment from his fellow.
Ah,
It says here that their ruling seems to conflict with the Mishnah, which rewards each litigant half. Even though follows the rabbis or sumkas.
okay, we have a Rashi on this.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, the Gemara has accepted that it seems very unlikely that our Mishnah could be like Sumchis, because Sumchis says there shouldn't be any shvua, and we say our Mishnah does have a shvua. So the Gemara says, oh, so if it's not Sumchis, so then who is it? So it's Rabbanan. We have a problem with that too, because the Rabbanan said, "Amotzim chavero olav araya," and hopefully Rashi's going to explain why that makes it difficult for the Rabbanan to be the author of our Mishnah also. Okay. Phil, would you like to continue?
Ola Haraya, he brings a proof. Below, if not, no, he has to bring a proof. Gabi Midi, relating to it, Vahacha here, Choki, they divide.
He won't collect everything. You read the word be'edim.
I left out the word be'edim. Sorry about that. So he has to bring a proof with aiding. Oh, I left out the word. So I left out an important word. So he brings word, then yes. But if not, then it doesn't work.
Yeah. Do we have Adim in the case of our Mishnah?
I don't think so.
No. Correct. We have no Adim. All we have is the claimant's own claims. They're not considered to be witnesses on their own behalf. A witness is a independent third party who gives testimony. So there doesn't seem to be any witnesses that are saying anything about the cases in our Mishnah. It's just based upon the claims of the two litigants who are both clamoring and saying that the cloak belongs to them, the talus belongs to them. But we have no edus about what happened. So if so, we according to Rabbanan, the Rabbanan say in such a case like that, Rashi continues ve'ilo, and if we don't have any proof of what happened based upon the testimony of witnesses, you know what we do? Lo gavi midi. They don't collect anything. And what do we see over here, says Rashi? We don't see that. Hacha cholkin, with a shvut. Seems to be a question about whether to have the word shvua in the text of the Rashi. We'll leave that one on the side. Okay, and then Rashi's got a Hachi Garsina, which seems to pertain to this part of the Gemara as well. Lou, you want to start reading the Hachi Garsina and see how much this Rashi we could read in the time that we have left? It's 12:25.
Okay, let's see if I can find it. Hachi Garsinan. I Amras the Bishlema Rabbanan Hasam the low Tafse Tarvaihu Amor Rabbanan Kule. Let's try to translate that. So here what it means, the text is, if you say very good for the rabbis, there, that they do not, what's Tav say?
Grabbing.
They're not grabbing, both of them did not grab.
They're not holding on to, I guess.
Both of them are not holding on to them according to the rabbis.
In other words, over there, in the case in Bava Kama, that the both of the claimants, the owner of the para and the owner of the shore, they're not holding on to the disputed item. What's the disputed item? I guess the Uber, because one is saying you have to pay for it, and the other one is saying I don't have to pay for it.
Right.
So they're not holding on. So in that case, we could say that's where the Rabbanan said, if he's not holding on to it, so he's not in physical possession, and possession is 9/10 of the law. Well, whoever is holding on to something, we presume that he's the owner. That's why he's holding on to it. And so over there, where nobody's holding on to it, that's where the Rabbanan say that we got to have witnesses in order to take money out of the pocket of the owner of the goring animal. We need witnesses. But over here,
Hacha, the Tav say, Tarvaidu, here where both of them are holding it, Pligi, that's where they argue. Bishvua.
Palge, Bishvua,
Oh,
we'll divide it.
Palge. They divide with a shvua, with an oath.
Yeah.
Ella amras sumchus uma hasam delo tafse arvaihu. But if you will say like sumchus, and what is it over there that they're not both holding it? Amar Sumchus, there Sumchus says, Palge, they divide, below Shavua, without an oath. Hacha did Tafse, Tarvaihu, lo kol shechein. Here, that they're both holding it, not so much.
Okay, so what we're saying over here is like this. But if you want to say the Mishnah, our Mishnah is like Sumchus, so then Rashi compares what Sumchus says and what the case is over there, and by us. Umahasam over there in the case of Sumchus with the Chenvani al Pinkosoi, the Lo Tofse Travayu. The two disputants are not holding on to the disputed chitim. They're not holding on, both of them, to the disputed sela that he was supposed to pay the workers. And even over there, in that case where they're not holding on, still Sumcha says you should say divide it, albeit not to make a shvua on it, but you would say to divide it. So therefore, says Rashi, Hacha over here, the Tafse Travayu, where the both of them are holding on to the talis, they're both holding on to the cloak. Lo kol shekain, is it not all the more so? Meaning, is it not all the more so that Sumchus would say his din over here, that you would divide it without a shvua? And therefore, this Mishnah could not be like Sumchus. Okay. This point where we're holding is that the Gemara. In other words, Rashi's got a little bit different girsa than we have in our Gemara. That's number one. Rashi has a bit different girsa, but the point is coming out the same. Well, 1 second. Is the point coming out the same? It's whether it's Rashi's girsa, whether it's Gemara's girsa, the Gemara is concluding that the Mishnah cannot be like Sumchus, and but the question is about the Rabbanan. Elamai Rabbanan. Our Gemara says, how could it be like Rabbanan either? Because the Rabbanan say Motza Mechaver Olav Araya. But according to Rashi's girsa, the Gemara is saying B'Shlema Rabbanan. We understand how our Mishnah could be like Rabbanan, because we can distinguish the case that the Rabbanan spoke about with our case. Over there, where they're not holding on, then that's where Rabbanan said Motzim Chaber Olav Araya. But over here, where they are holding on, maybe Rabbanan would agree. But if they're holding on, so then we'll give it to them if they both make a shvuah. So that's a very big difference in Rashi's girsa and the girsa that we have in our Gemara. Okay, Ad Khan, everybody.
Okay.
Ad
Shabbat shalom.
Khan.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. All the best, Phil.
So,
Take
thank
care.
you, Rabbi.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Roy. Bye, Lou.
Bye for
Shabbat
now.
Shalom to Phil.